underside of the arch. Okay, and in that between the brick arch and the gunite is simply pneumatically applied concrete, about 3 inches thick. You shoot it out of a gun, a Portland-based concrete. Okay, and you attach a wire mesh, and you're shooting the concrete onto the brick with wire mesh attached to the arch itself. Now all the loose brick's going to be removed before that happens. What we want to do in this situation is we want to put a capillary drain system in between the brick and the gunite, and we have 4 different strips that will go the whole way around the arch. We'll have the opportunity to locate those where the water is coming through the arch, to drain the water through the membrane down to the base of the arch and an outlet at weep holes at the bottom, so it's not like dripping out from the top. That's what's in the spec right now, and that's how we want to try to control that water.
My question is, with wind and freezing temperatures, I should have looked because I forget which comes from the ceiling, the stalactite or the stalagmite effect. If that happens and that occurs, well, we now have that between the bottom of the bridge and the concrete. Will that freeze, expand, and push out the concrete and break it? Is it proven? Does it last?
Well, you do have this gunite system on a number of your arch bridges right now. Riley Road is totally gunite on the underside. Never seen any problems with it. Sinai Road's gunite on the underside of that arch bridge. I think Mill Street also has gunite on the underside of the stone masonry arches.
And that's been for years, or
for
a
years,
few years,
or what?
yeah,
It's been as long as I've ever seen it. It's been probably decades it's gone to it. Now what happens to it, it does, as all concrete does, it gets shrinkage cracks, and in water, latent water from the roadway and then the fill above it, find those cracks, and you look up, after years and years, you're going to see white efflorescence. You know, the salts start coming out of the Portland, and you're going to see white efflorescence, and you're going to see little stalactites. They're like little salt crystals that might form and get, they're not icicles, but they're salt crystals, and you can snap them off your hand. They're just like salt. You might see that, but it'll take years for that to happen out here. It'll take years. Okay, that might be the look after 10 years or 5 years or 10 years. That might be the look of the underside of that arch. It's going to be a gray Portland cement-looking thing, a relatively rough surface. It might get cracks, and you might see latent water coming through that. It's not going to be big icicles. We're going to try to control the heavy flows with this drainage system. You won't see the drainage system. It'll be behind the gunite.
If it's any, if it means anything, I'm not aware at this point that there's so much water that we're getting icicles that are hanging down there now. Unless anybody sees differently, I don't see that much flow.
There's not a lot of seepage.
Right.
But what you're getting is the brick are 150 years old, and they're clay brick, and they're not, you know, they've been saturated and unsaturated for years and years and years and years, and they get through 150 freeze-thaw cycles, and the ones in the face are in localized areas. It's not the whole.
Well, those are those cheap Cornwall bricks. If they didn't use paper style bricks, they'd still be in there.
I don't have any comments,
Okay.
but it's just a natural action. 150 years old. It's like I said, it's localized, so it's not like it's not like we have 100% of this thing is going bad. We have spots.
Okay.
And so I'm satisfied. I think we'll get it fixed up, and we'll be in good shape probably this summer. And hopefully this will not be a worry.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.